Hi everyone, it's Cindy and welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today for Flipthrough Friday, hosted by Christine's Shack. You can find more information in the description box below on this collaboration. So I have a fun journal to share with you for this flip through. This is one of my tree journals. I'm working on 3 right now, but this is the first one I've completed, and it is already spoken for, but I just wanted to share here because it's beautiful and I'm really happy with it. So the beautiful tree of life, this original gorgeous cover, I did not want to do anything with it. I didn't even put eyelets in it to close it. I've embedded the ties. I've re-gilded the spine because I just felt like it could use a little bit more shine. And you'll see lots of leaves coming out the top and the sides. The tie that I've used, I have used my own eco-printed cotton fabric, and at the end, I have taken all of the strands of it basically, and I have torn them in 3, and I've stitched leaves to the tie so we'd have this fun leafy tree journal. So we open it on up, and I do like the profile of how it looks with the embedded fabric. Then we hop on in here. So when we open the journal up, I've chosen these really pretty 49 market papers for the end paper. I really like the thickness of this paper for creating the end pages, because like it's going to hold anything that you embed under it, like this kind of fabric. It's going to stand up to it. So then I made this little pocket here with this leaf. It says articles, and inside I've included this really beautiful it's original ephemera, 1775, Swinging in the Lane, and it is one of those scope cards. Oh, why do I forget the name? I'm sure you guys will be screaming at your TV or your computer, but this is copyright of 1896 by Littleton View Co. Washington, D.C. Underwood and Underwood Publishers, New York, London, Toronto, and Ottawa. So it's this lovely couple. You see them on a swing, and there's trees, birch trees on both sides of them, and I thought it was just so beautiful. Stereoscope, that's the word I'm looking for. So then we open up here to the front book page of the beautiful Tree of Life from the original book. I have added these leaves and catkins here. And over here is the copyright page, 1892. So this is some just coffee dyed paper, and then some beautiful, I have so many beautiful tree books, and this particular book I included some pages. This little pocket here, an acorn with some leaves. It says in a wood, and then back here you see this beautiful tree. This little label I've actually attached. So I'm very lucky in that I live very centrally to a lot of great things, including an exotic wood store. So this is veneer, and it's this beautiful pink wood. So it is, I would say, slightly delicate, but like not going to fall apart. If you purposely tried to crack it in half, you could, but you know, it's going to be fine. You can write on it. It's not going to fall apart. And I just thought it was so pretty, and it's, you know, really with that whole tree theme. Then some of my green dyed paper. I dyed paper specifically for these books. And then just some pretty pages. I used several different digital kits in this book. I won't even begin to name them. There's just, I use like a page of this, a page of that. So this is craft paper with some leaves stitched to the side. This was from a vintage tree and shrub identification book. And I love these because I feel like you could paint them if you wanted to as part of your journal work. More of the craft paper with the leaves. And over here we have a little tuck spot and some beautiful leaves there, and a bird. This was an image from a family tree book, and this is from a book called Epitaph for the Elm, and I thought that it just went really nicely there as a journal card. The blues kind of call to one another. This little side tuck is from a children's book, and it's like tree roots and leaves. And there's more of that beautiful tree book. And then this is a wrinkly, rumply, fun journal card that I made from a vintage postcard. And I've trapped some of my daughter's little collections that she gets me in here. So we've got a little bit of leafy tree bits there, and then this little crushed yellow flower. And some more coffee dyed paper. This is a little tree like ex libris type label this book belongs to, and I decided that there's a pocket, and so you could write your name in there. And then this is a little black and white image of a tree that I did some squeegeeing with yellowy greens, and it says "Off to the Enchanted Wood." And then on this side, this is a tuck spot. It is the title, "The Common Trees, the Library Card and Pocket" from the Central Archaeological Library. And inside we have this fun journal card that has some ivy leaves stitched on top. And that just tucks in here. And over here we have this little tuck spot with this stump on some beautiful tree paper and this chestnut tree journal card. And over here, a little tuck spot here, flowers, leaves, and fruit of Adele. And then this is one of my tags from my squeegeeing in Junk Journal July, "To the Top of the Tree, to the Land of Enchantments." And there's some beautiful floral trees behind there, and some more dyed paper. And then this is a beautiful page of all of these oaks. And it has a little leaf here. It's a tip up, so you can see. And it has a pocket with this journal tag in it. This is from the Paper Cameo on Etsy. So that just tucks in there. And then we have some fun trees back here and here. Coffee dyed paper. This is from a little tree field guide, the mountain maple and the broadleaf maple. This is a big leaf that I've stitched on here to be a tuck spot to hold onto this large journal card. And it's on hand-dyed paper. And just more beautiful trees. These are digitals. And more dyed paper. The butternut tree, box elder. Some more beautiful trees. Little tuck spot here, and this holds onto this journal card of some different types of pine cones. More lovely book pages of trees. This is a little elm kind of overview of all the elm leaves, and basswood and linden and ginkgo, and then a really pretty gold leaf is stitched back there. And then this is some other cottonwoods, poplars, just beautiful tree images. Another digital of a tree. Lovely book page. This is a belly band made from a book cover with beautiful tree bits on it, and it holds onto this journal card. Little cranes flying through the trees. More of the tree identification pages. This is from a vintage children's book. I just really loved that little tree branch. And then this is very magical. So I found this French children's book in a little free library when I was in Quebec, and it was called The Walking Tree. I'll show you what the book looked like here. So it's L'Arbre qui marchait. So he's a walking tree. And yeah, I just really love the whole style of the book. So he goes in there. Like a double kind of journal card. And more beautiful book page. Coffee dyed paper and digital papers. This pocket here, and this is a digital of this lovely old My Notes vintage like card, right? Like a lovely tree themed vintage note card. And some leaves are stitched on here. This is the sycamore, American sycamore, and cabbage palmetto. More dyed paper. This is Nature and Science for Young Folks. This was an old book, and I actually have a copy of it myself, but this was a digital image. And that's from the original book, the tree book. And this is actually from a woodland themed ideals magazine. And it's an interesting poem by Daniel Whitehead Hickey. The trees must go, they said, to bring a view of distant mountains to the hilltop's brow. First one by one they fell, then two by two. Though that was years ago, I see them now swaying against a startled patch of sky, in long green sighs going down upon the earth, shaking the sunlight from their leaves, the cry of sparrows that woke the morning with their mirth. The view is nice, they say. It reaches clear across the valley and brings the mountains near, and the young breath of spring lifts cool and clean. But when I look beyond the hilltop there, I see a million leaves that might have been, and hear their little thunder warm and green. And that is a journal tag. I've added some fabric up top. And then this is a pocket that I made with wood veneer. And inside is this beautiful tree painting tag with handmade paper on back. More hand-dyed paper and more of these beautiful trees. This digital is really pretty. More hand-dyed paper. And this is from a book about like how to do everything, and it's how to discover a tree's age. Every year a tree grows an extra layer on its trunk, which in cross-section shows a series of concentric rings. When a tree is felled, you can count the rings to discover the age. With a living tree, a hollow boring instrument can extract a small segment from bark to core. Climatic conditions and nutrient ability affect the size of each annual ring, and with the subtle species can tell us about past climates. And then this journal card is in there. There's some beautiful book page back there. These pages were so pretty, I had a hard time even putting anything on any of them. Mockernut, bitternut, some more digital tree pages, and I've stitched a leaf there. This tuck spot here, it says thoughts that smile and weep, dreams that hollow sleep, brood in the branching of shadows of the trees. And this is from a Woodland Ideals magazine. It's this mother and child kind of looking at trees, and I've stitched some fabric up top, and it's on handmade paper. This is another beautiful digital page. I love this text. And a little tuck spot here. This is from a How to Draw Trees book, and then this journal card is all sorts of different trees, the Fremontia, mulberry, all the different mulberries, sycamore, sweet gum, the tulip tree, which is one of my favorite trees. Mulberries and tulip trees are some of my favorites, actually. White ash, black ash. This has all the scientific names of trees. And then the index has more of just tree names, so I just left those there. And this little tree tuck spot has this little journal card. It's a lovely digital page. This is the hardy magnolia tree, and I love this. This is a beautiful verse here, and it has maple seeds. That's some stamping of a tree. And I've stitched some leaves on my hand-dyed paper. Digital page and more hand-dyed paper. Another of the tree identification diagram pages. And a beautiful book page. The hickory. And there is the walking tree. He's a tuck spot here. And over here, this is, why does this relate to trees? Because it's my leaf eco-printed cotton fabric. And I made a couple of kind of matching journal cards from a painting. And the back of them are both painted as well. And so they go in here. And I should show you there's more trees back there. More beautiful trees and more of the tree identification diagrams. More dyed paper and this lovely digital page. This beautiful page. This is from a family tree book. Some more stamping. Another lovely page. Now this insert is from this original 1896 book, and I had to just keep it in here and include it because it's amazing. It was in the front of the book, The Beautiful Tree of Life. So this was kind of a religious, well, it was a religious book, but it just basically talks about, you know, the sentiments of charity, faith, virtue, love, joy, holiness, truth, hope, humility, temperance, wisdom, and patience. And I love the lambs there. And yeah, it's from, I guess, Revelations. I am not a religious person, so please don't quote me on any of this. Then we have this pine cone here, and I've stamped some little acorns. This is from a tree identification book again. And more beautiful book page of birches. And then these, the pocket and this is from a Japanese very fine illustration children's book that's just every page is like this. It's just trees, trees, trees. It's beautiful. And this is a folding journal card with the plot elm, Courtanian elm, and their hybrids, the Huntingdon elm and the Dutch elm. So just some lovely leaves. And then again, gorgeous pages. This one I just kind of stamped in a fun little way, or punched rather. And this is a fabric leaf that I made on that digital pocket for this birch tree painting. There's handmade paper on the back. And a beautiful spread of this beautiful tree, a leafy page. And the other side of that Japanese book. This one's really cool because you can kind of see almost like a horse's face in the tree. I don't know if that was by intention or not. And then all sorts of beautiful leaves. Tuck spot here with a little leaf. And then this envelope, and inside of it we have this image, the genus Logkova, a beautiful tree. Kind of has that interesting shape to it, like a sycamore. I find sycamores to be some of the most fascinating trees. Sorry, I had to talk to my son for a minute there. Another lovely book page and more of these illustrations. Just some pretty digital pages, gold and yellow leaves, the red ash, the mountain ash, dyed paper, this little tree cover pocket on a digital page. That's from an old book. Beautiful, and I've added this fun fabric and book spine up top with handmade paper on the back. This is a hand-dyed envelope that I dyed, added some ivy there, stamped this. This is from the Graphics Fairy. It's this lovely tree man. He's really fun, and I grunged him up and coffee dyed him. This is another of those lovely illustration pages. The other side of the envelope, Fir Forest by Ethel Romig Fuller. That is a journal tag that has more of the fern on the back, and it is from an old Ideals magazine. Some stamping, and this is a tuck spot here with this lovely tree holding onto this journal card. This is more of the scientific names of the trees, and then a little ghost leaf stamp there. Little yellowed leaf there, and a little pocket from a vintage book cover. This is Talking Trees by Jean DeGood, another fun poem on this tag with a leaf stitched on top. It's from a vintage Ideals magazine. This is a journal card, again, made from wood veneer. So you can see this twisty, fun knotting that was happening. And again, this can be written on. And then some stamping there. I actually rounded the corners of this piece, so you can see it's quite durable. More of the tree identification paper and my hand-dyed paper. Washington palm, hickory trees, shagbark hickory. More of the illustrations and a little oak leaf there. Fun little digital page of these girls sitting in a tree. And we have sumac, one of my favorite tree type plants to print with and a digital behind, and then this fun journal card here. It's got some shaggy fun threads up there. And then on the back we have my stamp, and I've signed and dated the book and made it kind of a fun little stamp. So that is the end of the beautiful Tree of Life. I hope you enjoyed watching this flip through. This journal is spoken for already, but I am working on a couple more tree journals that I'll be posting. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe go out, sit in some trees, breathe in some fresh air, and be inspired. Bye for now.